It's Wednesday afternoon and it's time to turn our attention to legal matters. It's part of our commitment to putting Southeast Texas first. Let's ask the judge and get answers to some of your questions. We're joined by Judge Randy Shelton from the 279th District Court in Jefferson County. Judge, it's great to see you. It's always a pleasure.
It's a pleasure to see you too.
Thank you. Thank you. Now to our first question. David asks, we have joint custody, but after a rocky patch, my daughter's mother is threatening to move to Mexico and change her name. Is there legal action I can take to make sure she stays or leaves my daughter?
Well, I'm going to assume that since joint custody was mentioned, that there is a court order, and a child custody court order should set out the geographical restrictions on where the child can actually reside. Usually that restriction is in the county where the case was decided and the counties immediately surrounding that county. It is rare, though, to find one that does not have any of those restrictions. So if a parent tries to change the child's county of residence in violation of the court order, that parent can be held in contempt of court, or the court could order that the child live with the other parent. If there isn't a geographical restriction, a parent trying to move and a parent tries to move, then you would need to file some sort of motion to impose that restriction to prevent the move. But a judge would have to decide on that.
Thank you.
Also, about the name change, only a judge can change the name after a hearing from both parents, or the parents would have to agree to that. So one parent cannot just change a name.
Thank you. So the court order cannot be violated, especially when there's a geographical
Right.
boundary there. All right, thank you, Judge.
Yes.
Now to a couple renters' rights questions. Now this one is from an anonymous viewer. It says, my apartment smells like cigarette smoke constantly. It's coming through the vents. The lease clearly says no smoking, but when I go to the landlords, they say that all they can do is ask people not to smoke. I have asthmatic children. Can I do anything?
Well, the landlord could be in violation of that lease, and that may justify you in actually breaking the lease because you leased an apartment in that complex with that understanding. And depending on the terms of the lease, you might be able to get compensation for the cost of moving out because of the landlord's violation of that lease. A lease is just like any other contract, so you probably should consult an attorney.
Thank you, Judge. And now to our last question. This one is from Sabrina. She asks, there was a crack in my upstairs shower, so water leaked through the floor into the roof of my first floor and caused a bunch of water damage. I reported it, but all maintenance did was paint over the damage. The crack in the sink is still there. Will I be held liable for any new damage? I still need to shower.
Yeah, same thing. Just check the lease and just be sure that there's no provision that requires a tenant to, be responsible for any type of repairs. I would document everything that has happened and take photographs, email the manager or the landlord, and just say that you're still concerned about the condition of the bathroom and that you don't want to be held responsible in case there's an additional damage in the future. So it's always good just to document, take photographs, just in case something is brought up later.
Yeah, Judge, it sounds like all of these cases that we see with renters' rights, documentation
Yeah,
is key.
it is. Sending, sending letters by certified mail or by email, just having some sort of proof that you actually sent the notice or the letter. That's important.
All right, thank you for joining us again, Judge Shelton. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you.
And if you have any questions for our Ask the Judge segment, just head to 12newsnow.com/askthejudge and fill out the form.